It's Audrey. I am walking to the beach, trying to get there before the sun sets. I didn't realize how long of a walk it actually was. I just took Autumn for a walk, and I just did Pilates, and now I'm walking even more. But can't complain. Today, I was hoping to talk about splitting and how it affects different relationships and the kind of things you can actually split on, because it's not always just like a favorite person. So for me, splitting always seemed to be intensified by daydreaming or fantasizing. It would seem to kind of like spark the splitting. Well, first off, I guess if you don't know what splitting is, I'm assuming you do if you've been researching it and stuff, but just in case you don't know, splitting is when, in a nutshell, it's like when you see things in all or nothing terms. So you might see something as really good, or you might see something as, evil or bad. Ah, so beautiful. Thank you, God, for this beautiful world. So yeah, splitting is when you see things in all or nothing terms. And that could just be a regular cognitive distortion for anyone, but when you have BPD, it kind of runs your life. So there are things that you could split on. You could split on yourself. You could split on anything that you have, or even like a job that you have. You could split on your career, your degree that you're going for. You could split on people. So yeah, it's a... Oh, that's cool. Look at that current. Guess I do not want to go in that water though. Unless you want to drown. So we can be alone. Better stay away from me. I'm feeling introverted. It's a Friday night. Or I'm not home right now, but I'm alone tonight. I have plans tomorrow and Sunday, and I just nope, I'm the night to myself, so here I am. But yeah, it's split. So you can split on all of those different things. And the crazy thing about splitting, I don't use that word. The most debilitating thing about splitting is that a lot of times you don't realize that you're doing it, unless you've been in a lot of therapy. You start developing that self-awareness, and even then, it's kind of surprising how sneaky those kind of thoughts can just spring up. So case in point, I was in remission I've been in remission for 2 or 3 years. No, it's been longer than that. It's going on 4 years. Actually, I don't really even know the timeline, to be honest. I don't really track it anymore. So sorry if I'm saying conflicting things on different social media platforms. I'm just forgetting myself and losing track of time. But it's been a while. And I even sometimes, not nearly as often, it does still happen. Sometimes I get splitting thoughts, and the difference is I'm able to notice it usually right away. Of course, I don't like to say always or never, and I've mentioned this on the vlog before as well, that I have symptoms of PMDD, and I'll just have symptoms. Actually, my gynecologist said that I have it, so that means that 3 to 5 days I tend to go into really weird mean, like, I'll, like, rage, like, once a month, twice a month, a couple times a month. Usually in that, like, 3 to 5 day time frame. And then, like, yeah, so that happened earlier this week. It was in that, like, time of the month. And, I don't know, I woke up and I was just in a really bad mood. Like, I had just gotten my phone the night before. And, my new phone. I was really excited about it, but then I realized this iPhone does not have a headphone jack, or not an headphone jack, it doesn't have a lightning cable anymore. So the little wired headphones that I still use, because I'm an old person now and I don't keep up to date with technology, and, well, it's not really true, but, I don't have AirPods because I know my stuff and I will lose them, and I don't want to spend all that money on something I'm going to lose, so I still have the wired headphones. And I realized I couldn't use them with the new phone. So I was on my way to my office and I got really mad. It was like that time of the month that I got so mad. And I like slammed the steering wheel and I was like, this sucks. This is the worst thing that Apple's ever done. And I was just like spewing bullshit for like 10 minutes. And then I calmed down and I'm like driving and I'm like, okay, well, it's definitely that time of the month because I know it happens around the same, like 3 to 5 days every month. It's around the same exact like week, and it's crazy how like it. Before I was in remission with BPD, like the PMDD that I didn't know I had, would just exacerbate the symptoms. So now that I'm in remission from BPD and I still have the PMDD that I'm, at least aware of now and can prepare for, it still like brings out that BPD even though I'm in remission. So yeah, I was just like, this is the worst thing that Apple's ever done. Like I was just thinking an all or nothing. I was saying before, like splitting a lot of times, daydreaming or fantasizing would actually kind of, I don't know, I guess like jump start it. It would like kind of get me back into that like thought process. So like in the past, I used to like daydream a lot and like fantasize. It's like maladaptive daydreaming. And when I did that, it was actually kind of making me split in the like idealizing way, which would get my hopes up in some way, shape, or form, and then when I would be disappointed, I would quickly come crashing down, and I would split the opposite way and think everything was horrible and evil and bad and, hopeless. So that's one thing that I really tried to stop doing was daydreaming. I'm better at that now, but during like my 3 to 5 bad days a month that I have, I do tend to fantasize a little bit more on those days, like just, So I try, it's all work in progress. Just goes to show that like, this is real life. It's not a movie. Story doesn't end here and then happily ever after. It's just not a fairy tale. But it can get to the point where life is enjoyable for the most part, because literally you're never gonna not have a bad day. Like, it's just never gonna happen. And I never use the word literal, so literally, if I'm using that word, I mean it literally. Probably said that in a different vlog, and now I look like an idiot. That's fine. It's so pretty here. I think I'm gonna start walking back though. I don't want to get to my car when it's dark, and this always happens to me. It's so pretty. I should probably take some videos though before I go, so I'm gonna cut this short. Bye guys. I hope that was insightful in some way. Okay. Have a great